My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Monster Train 2! That's Stygian Guard and Awoken follow? Yes. Interesting. I think I've gone through both of these lands changes before, so now we just get to play with them. Although I will mention Solgard the Martyr has been changed, because we do have Solgard as our lead, which is the Titanchannel now has an ability to remove the stasis as well as all shards and gain scaling per shard. Cool. Wow, 2 offering tokens in the base deck. Already know what I'm doing with those. 2 glimmers in the base deck as well as an Awoken Hollow. Cool. Glimmer to deal damage to enemies as Awoken Hollow to also rejuvenate based on the Glimmer. Sounds good to me. Seraphiternus Chosen of Savagery means that I'm going to need range. Maybe the Glimmer can beat that. Pyre of Savagery. Friendly units gain on Slay, +1 damage permanently. Neat. I'm probably going to end up running a Solgard line as an incant line and an Awoken Hollow some other Awoken unit. Second line. Stygian Merchant of Steel seems our priority though. Yes, there it is. That's the Titanchannel line. Resurgence. Cooldown 99, so just not relevant to it. Removes stasis and gain +6/+6 per shard. Removes ability on use. So you can use this as early as you would like or as late as you might like. And then Cold Channel. I mean, realistically, it's Titanchannel. I think I go here. Especially with those offering tokens in the base deck. Oh, and Root Seeds for additional card draw? Hell yeah. Yo, Guild Marker this early? This clan combination doesn't get additional gold from other sources, so making our gold go further is really important. It doesn't matter what the trial was, I was going to turn it on. I go Awoken Hollow's Solgard bottom line and just like hard cast spells down there for a while. I'm gonna need more consistent healing, that's the big thing. Because our frontliner is not gonna stay alive long term. So +6/+6. I mean, realistically, if I just keep casting and then just let Solgard out right before the boss arrives, I should be okay. It's enough to prevent me from taking any damage to the enemy, even though I really would have liked to use Glimmer again there. Perfect. And then Solgard comes out. Now you are a 66 rather, and 71. That'll be enough. Ooh. Cuddle Hex giving us the ability to hold a specific card. Mollusk Mage. You know what? It's worn off on me. I don't like that background anymore. I'm changing it right now. It's in the logbook, I'm pretty sure. I don't like this one either. Alright, we're going back to the default one. Hey? Guess maybe after this. I think maybe Cuddle Hex is the direction I go, just so I can hold the right card for the right turn. Glimmer is the only thing that even gets affected by Conduit at the moment. Hey, there we go. I mean, it's got to be Steel Enhancer or Wildwood Sap. Wildwood Sap's really good right now for the Awoken Hollow's Cultivate triggers. I wonder if there's ever an argument to go to the Merchant of Magic early, because Awoken Banner would be a lot better for me. pretty much every Animus and every shell. The only thing that I wouldn't take is if I go there and it offers me Thorned Hollow and Awoken Hollow. That's the only situation where I don't end up taking and cherishing the Awoken banner. And if I did that, I could then hit a Merchant of Arms and then hit Merchant of Steel in the third area. Because if I hit a Merchant of Magic early, it'd be more important for me to get a Wildwood Sap because the upgrades on it are really good. Yeah, -1 intrinsic. Just pop it in my opening hand, make it 0 cost. Incredible. -1 and Permafrost or something. Not really relevant to anything here. I mean, -1 on a Root Seeds, -1 Permafrost for a Glimmer, or honestly a Root Seeds is completely fine. +10 magic power for a single Glimmer. Oh, I'm so glad. I saw this in the right-hand slot and I was worried, but there's the Shattered Shell. 1 Ember 2 Size on Sweep, gain Sweep, and also gain Slay +3 damage. So that's also really important because the Pyre of Savagery is going to give Slay +1 damage permanently. Just need to get that unit quick. Start a battle, enemy units appear on each floor, completely fine by me, just means I have to set up high. Actually, no. I thought about it. Let me stop that. I thought about it, but really the Glimmer on the midline is entirely inessential. I do want as many of those getting to the next floor for the permanent slay damage that it offers. I don't want to use the Glimmer on the top line as much as I do want the Rejuvenate value. As many incant triggers as I can get for the Solgard, please. Doesn't need to get that large, just reasonably. Freeze Ray will allow me to hold a Chime of Despair in hand while I burn out that Calcified Ember. I even took the risk that we would have discarded it. Yeah, I'm more than fine with all of these units going to the next floor. Again, it's really important for the... is it? Hang on. Currently, the Awoken Hollow is threatening to die on the top floor. Yeah, I think it's still fine. Top line goes down, we get a bunch of permanent slays on Shattered Shell, all completely fine. Let's drop a Spear Steward so that I can throw down... Actually, I think they'll be well defended. I'll throw them behind... Spear Steward, give you damage. Remove the incant, let him go. The new Titanchannel is really powerful in the early game. Titan's Gratitude was also changed. Previously was 35 damage to the front enemy unit, now it's 60. It's still attuned as well, it's really good, it's just costs more than I'm willing to play for it. Mollusk Mage and Helical Crystallis. I really don't see myself starting another line to get a Mollusk Mage on it. This is a skip and take money. Restoration Detonation, 100%. Razor Sharp Edge would be good for trying to spike the damage of Shattered Shell a little bit so that it can start slaying, if I didn't already have the ability to do that with the Pyre of Savagery. I need more support for health right now. Which actually is also a really good argument for going to the Merchant of Arms, which I'd already planned on doing. But... ooh, Swift Steel Dagger, hello! I mean, Swift Steel Dagger for the Shattered Shell, top line, incredible. Let's make it deployable. I'm thinking about it. I am. Oh, because it'd be insane, obviously. Because it'd be ridiculous. I could, theoretically, use Hall of Mirrors and have 2 copies of Solgard, just both Titan-channeling, and then eventually pop one of them out, and then eventually pop the other out. I think that's... I think that would be really good. It would overstack, just by default. I'd have to get either a unit that's one size and a space gem in order to be able to play another unit next to it, or go for size and then maybe pop, like, just double Cuddle Hex behind it. That's really difficult. Oh, it's a Woken banner in the next area. Wait, so my incant line is just gonna be the Titanchannel? Sure, let's do it. Let's do it. I mean... oh! I mean... this is a great opportunity for me to get the Bone Dog, go for capacity, and then Hall of Mirrors dupe the Bone Dog? Oh, this is gonna be great. Also, if I'm going capacity, I'm definitely gonna need a 3rd unit on the same floor as the Awoken Hollow stuff. You knocking us back? No, good. Incant power is probably the most important thing to focus on right now. Nowhere to put the Cuddle Hex. Oh, thank heck. I really need to draw some additional health for the Awoken Hollow as soon as I can. Again, incant triggers are the priority. Perfect. Big old restoration detonation. Thank you as well. Oh, it worked out perfectly. Midline now has the Hall of Mirrors. Double a Bone Dog behind him. And even give it some damage to that Bone Dog. And then Solgard come out of stasis in order to defend them. So, as long as those 2 are alive by the end of this fight, I get 20 additional Pyre health. I'll take 5 damage at the end of this round because Archeon's just going to hit me in the face, but it's neither here nor there. It's okay. no matter where I play that card right now, it doesn't have an impact on the board, so I might as well keep it for another turn. Play it later. Big ol' Restoration Detonation. That'll do it. We win on the bottom line, which means that both the dogs stay alive, and I get 20 sweet higher health. Harness the Titan. My magic power 10, spells in hand. It's really fine in some circumstances and means nothing in others. I think what I want is Channel Song, because it can pull out either the Bone Dog or the Cuddle Hex, and I'd be pretty happy about it. Spike the Stygian isn't awful either, though. Take Spike the Stygian because it's not gilded. I'll break the tie that direction. I see Sign of the Void. Animus of Speed. Can I run a third floor with an Animus of Speed? No. Can I run an Animus of Speed and Capacity? No. Yes. That's going to be our plan. So I need to get to a... There it is, Merchant of Arms. That Merchant of Arms is going to be our opportunity to put the Hall of Mirrors into our opening hand, and then Hall of Mirrors Solgard is going to get duped, and we'll be moving from there. At the moment, though... Ooh, I'm not ending the episode, don't worry. We're 17 minutes in. I've inopportunely chosen my words. Merchant of Steel. So that was going to be where I went to. But given that I just picked up the Animus of Speed, I've already filled out the 2 floors that I'm planning on using at the moment. So do I want to start a third floor? Or do I maybe just hit up the Merchant of Trinkets? It's got money in an event. Could be a lot of power. Obviously getting multi-strike on Shattered Shell would be huge. Getting like capacity reduction in size for Thorned Hollow. Also pretty good. The Awoken have some of the worst. Stygian also have some of the worst clan relics. Alright, I'm being pushed in the direction of the Merchant of Steel then. I mean, multi-strike immediately goes on the one who's going to be scaling its damage ridiculously. I don't think Endless Bone Dogs really helps us here, unfortunately. Thornstone? Lost 10 health, spikes 3? Yeah, I can put that on an Awoken Hollow, and I can put plus 14 on an Animus of Speed. If I reroll here, I probably can't buy the upgrade I'd be probably looking for. Oops. 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 Do I take Seal Singer? It was changed. On Rejuvenate, it now gains plus 3 damage permanently. I would really have to focus on it. But the only problem is I've only got 3 Rejuvenate triggers in the entire deck. No. It wants too much Rejuvenate for what I'm capable of generating. And the Awoken Hollow, same reason, I guess. Resurgence 2 is +10/+10 per shard. Interesting. Titanchannel on action deals 4 damage per shard to the front enemy unit. No, I'm going all the way down Titanchannel, thank you. Although I believe those actions would probably still occur while in stasis, which could have been fun. I think I could take Merchant of Steel reroll here if I wanted to be really aggressive about it. And I'd be looking for Mini Stone or Titanite on the Awoken Hollow. God, that's how narrow what I'm looking for is. All right, let's get out of here. You really want to be looking for at least 3 things on your reroll. Front non-boss enemy in each wave gains reanimate. Sure. I'm not going to play the Bone Dog. Oh. That's fine. As I said, I'm not going to play the Bone Dog until I get the mirrors for the mid-floor. If you're wondering why the Atoms of Speed has an ability that was also from the update, Atoms of Speed was unchanged other than gaining the ability Swift Shot. Cooldown 2, attack any enemy unit immediately, so it has the ability to try and reach for the backline. Yeah, I still do want to rejuvenate the bottom line, but losing permanent damage just so I can do a rejuvenate trigger is really hard to justify right now. Can't play Falcon Power. Spike the Stygian on my own unit just for the incant trigger. We got our Hall of Mirrors down. Now I can welcome the Bone Dogs. Oops. Unfortunately, our discard discarded our discard, not allowing us to get rid of the Vengeful Shard from this hand. Am I about to go to an event? Merchant of Trinkets. The amount of money that I'm going to take out of this fight. I might go to that Merchant of Trinkets, which means I might hit a Celestial Alcove, which means I might want to be entirely on full HP. Should I try and find a way to end this turn without leaving the Vengeful Shard in hand? Oh, no, wait, I used a random discard to get it. Oops. Yeah, no, I'll try and do exactly the same thing again then. So we got there. And then that discarded that. Yep. I forgot that it was the outcome for random thing there. Rather than just choosing to play other things. Shadow Shell's getting large. Big and large. I mean, for how early it is, that's big. And that's large. That's even better. With that setup, I can do my Rejuvenate trigger, the Shadow Shell is going to hit twice, and it gets to slay on both hits against the Scarred Sentinel. This incant line, I'm not even going to remove your stasis. You would come out at 160, 160 though. Atoms of Speed. Oh, you don't want to murder the backline, actually. Murder that one to set up for Shattered Shell, getting double slay. I absolutely have enough coverage in this deck to take a Titan's Tooth. The only problem is, do I want to ever cast a Titan's Tooth? Again, noting that it would take slays away from the Shattered Shell. Realistically, it's just a card that I can cast on discard, which is another incant trigger for Solgard on the middle floor, so take it for that reason. Pyagro. Draw 2 less cards next turn. 1 additional energy every turn of the rest of the combat, though. Preserve Thorns is also really good for incant decks. God, I want Pyagro, but I don't need Pyagro. I don't want Preserve Thorns, but I do need Preserve Thorns. Funny how that happens. Merchant of... I mean, I really want to go to the Merchant of Trinkets. But a Merchant of Magic has a lot of value for us. Holdover on Glimmer or Offering Token. Obviously just pumping up the value of some of our heals in some way. Maybe even getting double stack on Wildwood Sap, or even just not even double stack, Spell Chain would work well. Moving 2 cards from the deck. Do I have 2 good cards? I mean, it'd be 1 foregone. Actually, it'd probably be Spear Stewards and Shield Stewards first. I think this has got to come down to, do I have something I really want to dupe with the Empyrean Well? I kind of want to dupe the Bone Dog and then just go for as much Pyreheart health as I possibly can, but optimizing around playing that consistently is going to be really annoying, especially after I do get 2 Soul Guards out on the midline. I gotta go to a Merchant of Magic. I'm not gonna have a good opportunity to hit a Merchant of Magic for a while. Merchant of Arms. I think this has got to be Merchant of Steel and then Merchant of Arms. Yeah, because I go to Kale, you give me additional energy, and then I can go to the Merchant of Arms and immediately use that deployable energy to make a Hall of Mirrors on the first turn. Yeah, that sounds really good to me. Okay. So, Magic, Steel, Arms. -1 cost intrinsic and holdover. I will say -1 cost intrinsic for Preserve Thorns is incredible. Holdover Offering Token's really good too. I think I'll do both. That's so many incants on the very first turn. -2 cost consume. Not relevant on any of those. Reroll here. Double stack. Thank you. Double stack the regen on the Wildwood Sap, please. A -1 in Permafrost for Spike the Stygian, an Ember Stone for the same Spike of the Stygian, and then finally +15 magic power. Sorry, +10 magic power rather on the other Glimmer. Get both of them up to snuff. Yeah, that weapons cache is unfortunately not utilizable here as much as I desperately do want to use that in some run because it's gonna be good. 1 Ember, when you summon a friendly unit, draw an equipment and apply a -2 cost to it. Make this deployable, and then you can just, in your first turn, equip a full floor of units with equipment. It seems so good. Steward's Quarters. Given that I took capacity, there is an argument that I should make a 3rd line and throw the Stewards on them just because I can. Stoic Plate Mail would also be really good in the world that I'm doing that. Yeah, screw it. Steward's Floor. So if I am doing Steward's Floor, we have 7-8 capacity on that floor, which is Shield Steward, Spear Steward. So I can remove a Spear Steward from the deck and then a Foregone Power. Cuddle Hex is also floating around in the deck at the moment and eventually gets removed, but just not yet. Actually, I'm going to get a second Foregone Power out of there. I'm leaving frozen cards in hand commonly. It's really, really, really risky to play those now. Number enemy units presumably try and heal if they ever manage to ascend a floor. I'll just focus on not letting that happen then. Done. Hey, there's the Hall of Mirrors. Just you at the top line. There's that bone dog, baby. Second steward as well. I mean, I do want the additional health on the Awoken Hollow. Do I want to do it with a Glimmer? I suspect the answer is no. Ooh, we get to double the Cuddle Hex. Exactly what I was hoping for. Just gonna discard the Spike Decision because it's not gonna be relevant for a long time. Get him, Shattered Shell. Get him. You can really tell how far past the general curve of the fight we are when I'm playing most of my spells on a floor that is never going to be reached. Just going to burn out the Calcified Ember and then let it go. There you go. Get big sapped. And by big sapped, I do mean 2. There you go. Solgard hops out as a 240, 240. Great stat line for this point of the game, and you will never be touched. Shattered Shell. Who's the real savage? Deep Offering. I can't believe it. They nerfed you so hard. They increased your cost by 1. You're basically still an insta-pick. It's so good. What are you gonna do? If I have to pay 1 to play draw 5, I will pay 1 and I will smile and then I will draw 5. Engraft for a rejuvenate trigger as well as a pump of energy. Pretty good. I kinda wanna go Pyro now. I think it's about time. It was steel, and then I was gonna go arms. Yo. I will capacity reduce the Awoken Hollow, just in case it ends up being relevant. I don't know how it will be, though. Unfortunately, none of these are relevant in any way, so I'll reroll. When I say in any way, what I do mean is that I should get the... Oh, God, I could have mini-stoned the Shield Steward instead. And then you can put all of the units on the top floor. Oops. Damn. I could make an endless Bone Dog and then summon it on the mid floor as a chump blocker, and then every time it dies, I can summon another one of them until I overstack that mid floor. Yeah, it's not actually that good. Let's give in-game gain armor to the Bone Dogs, because they will just be there gaining armor. Why not? It'd be nice if I could go back in time and move the Smidge Stone, put Titanite on a different unit. Alas, I can't do that, so I'm just gonna be sad about it instead. I think another Preserved Thorns goes absolutely off. Second Wildwood Sap is actually not that good, though. So yeah, this one has to be for energy. Here we go. Sting, sting, sting. Sting, sting, sting. I love, by the way, that you still spawn on a floor to try and fight an enemy who is not there. Nice try, Kale, but Solgard is literally in stasis right now. Offering token through Titan's Tooth. There's our Hall of Mirrors I was looking for. Pyagro as well. That'll do. Yeah, it's only even Kale that got a direct hit through to us there. Rudely, you have decided to come back to this floor, so now I will actually need to... play. There you go, Solgard. 170, 170. That should do. That'll save the puppy line. As much as I do want to get rid of that Calcified Ember, I do think I'm just going big Spike and Stygian on Kale, considering you are most of the damage that ends up getting through to the Awoken Hollow. Guess I'll keep the Spear Steward just because it's a card to discard later. Offering token through the Titan's Tooth, recast. I mean, realistically, I don't want to change anything right now. I just want to let all of that resolve comfortably. Up to 40 shards. No, that would have given you a 400 stat line. Yeah. Why? Why were you not changed? You are so incredibly underwhelming for your limitations. Why were you not changed in any way? I just don't get it. It feels like there's a, in Stygian Guard, in MT1 at least, it feels like there was a lot more of a theme around trying to get the enemies onto the top line and then deal with them there, giving them spell weakness when they get to the top line, things like that. It's just not viable to do. I mean, I'm certain that there are situations in which you can utilize it. That is, I'm never saying that something is an unusable card. I'm just saying it's very rare that it will be a better choice than almost anything else that it was offered aside, including skip +10. Cycle of Life. I largely want to say the same thing about you. I'm going to refrain. Ancient Synergy, 2 times spell damage, front enemy. You know what? I will take Cycle of Life. It's a way to try and keep Awoken Hollow alive without triggering Glimmer. Well, I mean, another way to keep the Awoken Hollow alive would be a Overgrowth Carapace. Let's make the Hall of Mirrors deployable. Do I want to get Glass Cannon on someone? Not enough to do it. And I don't have a floor where I want to put Weapons Cache. I could put it on the very bottom line, and then that would help me draw out an Overgrowth Carapace right now. Unfortunately, the Swiftsteel Dagger is deployable, so it won't help me draw that. God, I want to take Weapons Cache and then just reroll here looking for something else, but what could I even find that I would want right now? Especially, what could I find that I would want more right now than just saving the money and walking away? Purge a card outside of combat, gains 75. I've removed 2 cards from this deck, but I removed them... I didn't pay to remove them. AAA, how many rare cards do I have in this deck? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plus 18 health to all of our units? Yeah, get in here, AAA. That sounds triple great to me. Plus 15, plus 15 for the Resurgence 3. I'm probably not going to summon Animus of Speed. There we go, that's the double Solgard for the mid line. Yeah, all of the rest of that is compulsory. There's the double Bone Dog as well, we did it! Also, Pyagro on the first turn is actually incredible, because it's saying draw 2 less cards next turn, but on the first turn, I also play Reserve Thorns, Sting, 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 Reserve Thorns, Sting, 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 and as a result, I'm drawing 9 cards next turn. So we're fine. I even have the mana to do all of that. So that's 150, 150 in shards represented on both of the Soul Guards at the moment. I'm gonna have Animus of Speed kill the Deformed Duo just so the Shattered Shell is finishing the units by itself. For no reason other than blunt satisfaction. Yeah, I think I want to draw deeper into this deck. I'm going to play Foregone Power, hoping it doesn't discard the Deep Offering. It didn't. Deep Offering. Now that'll discard the Titan's Tooth. Nice. See who's got us its top. Through a Vengeful Shard, drop down Root Seeds, Spear Steward that line, and I even get to keep the card for next turn. Yeah, it's going to be real difficult to find places to play Cuddle Hex from now on. That of our Gladiator will die as it ascends. Yeah, I don't need to pop out the Solgards right now. Our top line's got it. Especially when I get the actual defensive Shield Steward out. Awoken Hollow is getting 20/20 from the Overgrowth Carapace every turn. That'll help account for some of the corruption that the enemies have managed to stick. No, I'm just going to play out the Calcified Ember here. Absolutely. I really don't need to do anything to the Avowed Gladiators. I don't think it's unlikely that the bottom line gets defeated by Raxia. So continuing to let this line grow, it's not just to flex on the enemy, but it is also to flex on the enemies. It's definitely part of it. That'll have to do. So he's going to get some buffs as he comes up to the next floor. And it's currently showing that he's absolutely going to be destroying this entire floor. Definitely, entirely, 100%. Not going to be a problem at all for him. That's 48 shards, 48 shards. Boom! That's 724, 743. Oh. The last thing this game needed to give me was a champion that scales directly with Incant that is available possibly, 66% of the time from the very start of the run. That is the very last thing that needed to happen to me. I'm ignoring artifacts. It doesn't matter. Dense enough spells and just cast them. Frenzied Swarm discards the hand. Don't like doing that. Ice Storm. Crystalline Seeds. Like, I could take Crystalline Seeds and play Crystalline Seeds. I think I'd prefer the money, please. Awakening Thicket! Hello! Friendly units have plus 20 max health and restore 10 health on resolve. That's exactly the kind of room card that I can play on the bottom line. Thank you. I really don't think our units have much more space to upgrade. I mean, Shattered Shell, what would I even give you? Another multi-strike, obviously, but that's, like, it? Merchant of Magic, however, got a lot of work we could do there. Friendly units gain stealth on summon on slay, plus 3 damage per stack of stealth. Almost never would I have stealth on the Awoken Hollow, but not on the other units that I wanted on. I think Shadow's Sheath could absolutely be good in this deck. In fact, I don't even think it can be negative. Frozen cards reduced to 0 until cost of blade. Honestly, not relevant. Friendly units get +1, burst stack of spikes. Also not relevant. Mute 1 whenever an enemy enters your train. So, as I was saying, Stygian has some of the lowest power clan relics in the game. They also have one of the very highest power clan artifacts in the game at Sigiled Seaweed. I don't have to deal with the worst things in the game anymore. They are dealt with already. Equipped units gain armor 10, sure, just a little bit of survivability. Start a turn, Vinegrass with Ephemeral. That's a free spell every turn. Remove Consume from Deep Offering, I guess. Spell Chain, one of the Preserve Thorns. God. It's got to be Spell Chain, the offering token, realistically. Significantly better. -1 cost, we got to get that Cycle of Life down. +10 magic power. Sounds like Restoration Detonation would happily hold that. Reroll, -2, and Consume goes on the Deep Offering. -1 intrinsic or holdover. I can put holdover on the other offering token, and there's absolutely no downside to it. Remove a card from your deck. I mean, the Root Seeds are short for this world. So is the additional Spear Steward. So is Cuddle Hex, admittedly. Yeah, let's cut Cuddle Hex. Spend all of our money perfectly and head into the Seraphite. No melee weakness for them. I'm so glad Seraphiturnus turns up and is trying to fight the Soul Guards again. They're empty, buddy. There's no one there. Go home. Oh my god, the Pyro! So good. I will play the Cycle of Life here because I am a little worried about the health of the old Awoken Hollow. Oh, I really want to play that Awakening Thicket. Ugh. It's Awakening Thicket, sorry. Nice, cast the Titan's Tooth. I will hold Spike of the Stygian for another turn, because I do think hitting the boss with a giant Spike of the Stygian sounds good. And there's your Bone Dogs. Oh, right, they're stealth. I was wondering why Avowed Gladiator wasn't hitting. I mean, this is a good opportunity to get rid of the melee weakness in a nice situation. I'll hold on to the Spike of the Stygian again. foregoing all that power. This seems like a great opportunity to finally play that spike, which I will do. Not going to be enough to save the shield suit in the front line, but that's completely fine. That top floor is not actually part of our plan. It was just there because we found a spear stewards before we'd removed stewards quarters, rather, before we'd moved the stewards entirely out of the deck. Awakening Thicket at the bottom. Gotta keep those offerings coming. And I will unshield... Unstasis. I will unsheath my Solgard the Martyr. Played in defense mode for the Bone Dogs at a 500-500. I'm not gonna break out the other one. I don't need to. Oh, the offering tokens of pure value. I can't afford to cast Foregone Power and have a 25% chance of just discarding the deep offering, not with this much money left over in hand. Feels like that would be an awful idea. How dare you go back to the top line looking for a fight? Finally getting the Awoken Hollow near its max HP. All it took was an Awoken Thicket, giving it plus 10 health on resolve, and also just hitting it a bunch of times with spells. I'd love to unfreeze Solgard, but because it's unnecessary and I will be winning on the bottom line still, I'll dedicate this final turn into making it as large as I possibly can. That'll do it. So 76 shard stacks on the Resurgence 3 Solgard. We'll summon you as a 1,144, 1,163. And then we'll kill you on the bottom lane, or rather kill the boss on the bottom lane. Take me to your Titans. Realistically, the top line is pretty much forfeit. The Shield Steward will die in like 3 rounds. It's not really that important to even get them there. 9. You're ready to come out as 150, 150, and that's just from the Preserved Thorns. It's definitely time to just deep offering through those. Ooh, Awakening Thicket this early is huge. Oh my god. We got the Pyagro just in time. There it is! The Bone Dog! Yeah, I do desperately need the Bone Dogs on that floor so that I can actually cast spells on friendly units on that floor while I've still got both of my Soul Guards in stasis. Zach orders for the top line. The Pyre of Savagery is actually one of the highest damage pyres, if I recall correctly. So yeah, with 170 pyre damage, and that's only 2 pyre lights played because you were muted on turn 1, so we didn't even get a pyre light on turn 2 from Dominion. Yeah, this is going to go pretty well. That will probably be our first Slay. Maybe a round or 2 away from Entropy going down. Savagery's going to take a little longer, unfortunately. I guess unless I break out Solgard soon. I also don't want to do that. Deep offering, draw 5. Yeah, I'll pop them both out. Realistically, it doesn't make any more sense to just let them grow constantly rather than just taking out the enemy with them. They've already gotten impressive enough. That said, still worth encanting on that floor for the 2 armor on each of the Bone Dogs. Certainly not our highest priority, but still worth doing still. The Titan's Tooth. Both of the Vengeful Shards. Ooh, I guess I could have discarded anything there, but doesn't matter. Oh, hang on. If Dominion goes down this turn, we win. Get a little bit of additional health on the bottom line because we can. That'll do it. Shattered Shell, so big. Bone Dog, just having 2 Bone Dogs in every fight. Well, every fight after Kale at least. Although, a lot of the fights before Kale, too. Because I would just wait for the Hall of Mirrors to already be out. This was just an incredibly smooth run, I don't know what to tell you. Guild Marker gave us the ability to get a lot more value out of our gold early and really helped us ball out of control. It accounts for the fact that I don't get any artifacts between Heaven's Light and Hell's Flame, because between that time, I was just power leveling all of my deck. All of my minions, all of my spells, and getting the appropriate equipment. I gotta say, this really feels like a good case as to why the Merchant of Arms is so much more powerful now. Especially with MT1 clans. Awakening Thicket did incredible work down here. Obviously, the Swift Steel Dagger is always nice to have. Overgrowth Carapace in a lot of positions as well. But it's much easier to go to a Merchant of Arms, even though I'm really benefiting from many of the things that Merchant of Arms had available earlier. It's much easier to justify going to one because they have so much more available that they can do. End that run. I don't think the Sigiled Seaweed ultimately ended up changing anything. Spike the Stygian gets its gilding. New personal record, Slay Triggers 403. Yeah, that'll happen when you've got the Pyre of Savagery and the unit that's killing all of the enemies also has a Slay Trigger itself. If I also had a Bloodthirsty Blade, we could have even gotten more. Clanless card collection. There's a Clanless card I haven't gilded still? There's a Clanless card I haven't even seen still. That's got to be one of the new rare pieces of equipment or rare rooms, I imagine. We'll have to see over time, though. I'm going to head back to the run summary very quickly just to pull up that Bone Dog and the Hall of Mirrors. And jump back to the Outpost. And tell you that my name's been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Monster Train 2. Top left is a series playlist for all of my content on the Game Pass, present and future. YouTube recommendations down below. Streaming past are the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. Out above the thank you, and a special thanks to this episode to Disney Mia. Hopefully you'll have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.